What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Impact Wrestling review. Well, I shouldn't say Impact Wrestling review. I should say the Redemption review. Tonight's pay-per-view from Orlando in the Impact Zone tonight, but a little bit different this time. It's a little bit of a bigger stage, if you ask me, in the Impact Zone. I don't know if they moved to a new sound stage, but they had a new set. It looked like there were more people here. The crowd was really different because in the past few weeks, we've seen this crowd like dead, like super dead in Impact. But there was something new about this time, something really different. And you could tell a lot of differences in tonight's show as we kind of kicked it off with a different commentary team. Now, yes, we had Josh Matthews out there, but we also had Don Callis. He is like the new executive producer that is part of Impact, or I think he's the not executive producer, but the one of the vice presidents of Impact. And you could tell he has been a huge positive change on this company and has made a lot of major changes. He's a major move, and I think he did a good job, a really good job with a lot of the changes that's going around in this company tonight. And it's great to actually see him on commentary with Josh Matthews. I enjoy his commentary, part of New Japan Pro Wrestling with Kevin Kelly, and he kind of keeps it heel, really straightforward a lot of times. Him and Josh Matthews did a really good job getting a lot of the matches over tonight, telling what was going on, even kind of calling anything if there was a bit of a mistake out there. But it was actually very different, and it was great to see him on commentary tonight prior to the show. We started off with Drago versus Aerostar. A really good match. It kept the show kind of pump up the show in the beginning, get the crowd lively. There was a lot of lucha and "This is awesome" chants. I liked the roll like cutter Aerostar did, kind of just rolling into a cutter, which was pretty cool. But there was one thing, and you're gonna see a lot of these tonight, and I think this will end up on Botchamania a lot too. Is that whatever this rope was, like kind of right by the crowd, like one of the turnbuckles, every time somebody got onto it or tried to climb it or on top of it, they were slipping a lot. Like you're gonna see a lot of slipping tonight from this rope, this top rope. So I don't know if the ropes was too slippery or what was going on with that, but a lot of these guys nearly fell and was just botching like crazy up here. And yes, there were some botches in this match. Also, Aerostar pretty much picked up the win with a springboard code breaker for the win. They even tried to say Aerostar tweaked his leg out there a little, or his knee, so they kind of tried to mask the botches out there. But the crowd was into it. It was a good show opener to kick off the show. We then moved on to Josh Matthews and Matt Sydal in the back, pretty much breaking up this whole thing, which say Sydal could do it on his own tonight. And I guess they just kind of ended this whole Josh Matthews and Matt Sydal, as Josh Matthews was the manager on there tonight. He's usually the manager through all this, but I guess they ended their partnership, and Matthews is just there to be on the commentary team other than being a manager tonight. Also, one thing you will see throughout the night is new title belts that were debuted tonight. My thoughts on the new titles, I think they're a better change than those old GFW belts, especially when they had the Impact sticker on it. I like the new world title. Yes, I really have a problem with them being silver and everything. Most of the tag team titles, the Knockouts Championship, and the X Division. The world title was gold, of course. I know some people don't like how the plates are blue, and really just don't like the color, and just the world title just be a straight gold title, like as in a world championship. I will admit the world title night to what I saw was really good though. It's a different change. It doesn't look like that Impact Global Championship or GFW title. This looks like a World Heavyweight Championship and addressed as a World Heavyweight Championship, because calling it the Global title didn't make it feel like a world title. We didn't go to LAX's clubhouse or wherever they sit most of their vignettes as they were playing dominoes, but Santana took a seat on a Conan's chair, and he got a phone call, but the thing was that somebody took Conan out. And even I wanted to what the fuck was Conan tonight? Like, was he not going to be here? I think the last time I heard about Conan recently is that I believe he had hip surgery, so he may have not been able to make the pay-per-view tonight, if I'm correct, because I know hip surgeries, I don't know how long it was ago, probably earlier in the month or last month, if I'm not mistaken. So he was not on this show, on this pay-per-view tonight. I was very surprised. Like, Conan was not around and LAX was worried. Then again, where the hell was Homicide or Diamante tonight? We didn't even see those two out there throughout this. But as they tried to find out who took out Conan and stuff, LAX had to go in on their own against Eli Drake with some new theme music and Scott Steiner. I enjoyed this match, okay, and I know some people think Scott Steiner can't move that well, or he's limited to mobility nowadays. What is he, like 50 something, if I'm correct? But I think he wears that shirt because he's got tattoo looks really horrible. He's had spread it throughout his body, and it's just really kind of bad. And he's still jacked. Don't get me wrong. People were kind of with Steiner, but they said they chanted "fuck you, Steiner" at the beginning of the match. But this was a pro LAX crowd. LAX was super over out here tonight. I did enjoy this match, even though it was just kind of quick and went by. The story was pretty much coming into the end. Was LAX were going to hit their street sleeper for the win, but Santana went for Scott Steiner outside the ring as Eli Drake hit the gravy chain on Ortiz, making him the new tag team champions. Come on, Scott Steiner hit a freaking Frankensteiner from the top rope, pretty much giving an FU to the crowd like this, and hit the move even with a Steiner recliner, still with some belly to bellies. I think Steiner can still move pretty good. He moved better than he did back at Slammiversary last year, if you ask me, and he looked, I guess he really did get himself in shape for this match. So Scott Steiner still has it and can move around. They did become a new tag team champion. I know some people will like it or they won't like it that LAX got pinned, but I think this, like I said, the story was that they wonder where Conan was. Where was Conan gonna be? And Conan wasn't there for LAX tonight, so I think they were worried throughout most of the match about that. And Santana just didn't go for the win. He took out Steiner first instead of go for the win. So we'll probably find the next tapings or whatever. But yeah, Conan was not on this show tonight, folks. But Eli Drake and Scott Steiner are the new tag team champions. It's really surprising, but hey, Steiner still got it. I never thought he lost it to begin with, but he's still out there. Next, Taji. Well, this match right here, this was a spot fest, and it really didn't mean that much other than to make Brian Cage look strong. But it was Taiji Ishimori versus Desmond Xavier versus El Hijo de Fantasma versus Brian Cage versus a returning DJZ back to Impact, and versus Trevor Lee. Well, I guess he returned to Lucha Underground versus Impact event, but versus Trevor Lee in a 6-way match. This was a good match if you want to look from a spot fest perspective, and Brian Cage was moving crazy. I thought he messed up that whole moonsault. And a lot of these, like I said before, a lot of these guys could not hit their top rope moves because of the ropes is really slippery. There were, like I said, slippery ropes. There was a lot of "you fucked up" chants, and yes, it was botched. It was a lot of botches out there. Okay, a lot of these guys were botching moves like crazy. I almost thought Cage could even hit his Weapon X move on Taiji Ishimori, but he did it. Listen, everybody did good out there. Crazy athleticism, and they worked really hard out there to get the crowd going. But Cage was gonna win it regardless, and he hit his drill claw on Desmond Xavier for the win. I don't know what the point was of feeding Brian Cage the entire X division out there, and hopefully these guys have somewhere they can go, especially Trevor Lee, because he needs something. Same with Desmond Xavier, since he won that Super X Cup thing. We barely see him on TV a lot, except for some type of special or pay-per-view. So hopefully something good is in the future for him. Taya Valkyrie when he gets Kiera Hogan. This match was kind of played at the last second, and coming on at the last minute added, but one thing that was surprising was Tessa Blanchard joined the commentary team. I was actually surprised to see Tessa Blanchard out here, to be honest. A lot of people thought she would have been in WWE already since the Mae Young Classic. I know there's been stories about Tessa Blanchard before. I don't know, her I wouldn't say no showing events, but I don't know, it was attitude problems or something. I've heard a couple things here and there, but I probably have to look back on it. I was very surprised to see Tessa Blanchard here, and she was mostly calling out Taya throughout the match. And this was a really solid match out here. It's just all you really heard was Tessa Blanchard on commentary, that she kind of overshadowed the whole thing. But she is part of the Knockouts division now. It is very surprising to see her. People really thought she would have been in the WWE already, but she is an Impact. But that is a good acquisition to pick up from her, to have her on the show. So it is good to see Tessa Blanchard on here. Next, we had Matt Sydal versus Petey Williams for the X Division title. And if it was one thing that was really fun throughout tonight, was Petey Williams was cutting a promo in the back and kind of talking about, Matt Sydal's chances of winning. And when he was doing the math problem, Scott Steiner comes out and he's doing the math profession himself. Scott Steiner just cutting the promo on, you have a 25% chance. That's Canadian math. You got to do our American math, okay? You have to go 60 axes by the 20 degrees. Make sure you add the numbers by 6, plus them by 3, divide them by 2, and it was a crazy math promo. I recommend going back to look at that part if you can. It was fun to look at. And this is kind of one from Pete Williams' shoot interviews. He says, Scott, we're going to Cracker Barrel tonight? He said, yeah, bring your wife. So I thought that was good. The crowd looked like they were really quiet throughout this match, but Sydal was able to get the win with a, I don't know what type of move it was, but P. Williams had avoided the shooting star press and tried to hit the Canadian destroyer from the top rope, but like I said, Sydal hit some move and he pretty much won the match from there, retaining the X Division Championship. Hopefully this goes somewhere because the crowd was very quiet for this. Next was probably one of the best matches of the night. Moose, Eddie Edwards, and Tommy Dreamer versus OVE in a House of Hardcore match. They were interviewed in the back as Dreamer talking about his united love for pro wrestling as they stand against OVE tonight. This match was insane, okay? This was just going crazy with this House of Hardcore. From the triple power bomb to the apron, Moose doing drop kicks on OVE with a trash can over their head, freaking chairs, that whole what was it called? The all-seeing eye on Eddie Edwards from the top rope, which was pretty crazy. There was like thumbtacks out there, and Moose was trying to hit a power bomb, but Edwards hit with a it was like a Boston knee party from the top rope on was it Dave Christ on the thumbtack stand. After that, which looked pretty cool also. Dreamer hitting a Death Valley driver on Callahan through a table on the outside. Jeez, there was a lot of crazy moves out there to even go back and name. But it kind of came, and this is one of the crazy ones. It was like 2 tables outside, and Moose kind of went through one of the, I think it was Dave Chris, but Jake pretty much came from the other side of the top rope with a cutter on Moose, which pretty much knocked all 3 men to the ground. Then Eddie Edwards and Callahan were left in the ring as Callahan got a baseball bat, but then Tommy Dreamer had his own baseball bat with barbed wire, which he was going to hit him with, but Sami Callahan low-blowed him pretty much on Dreamer and getting the win for his team in this match. So Callahan did get a win, but Eddie Edwards was still pissed as they started brawling with each other then, and next thing you know, Eddie was able to get the upper hand as he took that bat and the barbed wire bat and just like put it across Sammy's face, and just blood is just pouring and pouring off of there. And then he used duct tape, and he put he duct taped him to the ropes as Callahan spit at him, and then next Eddie Edwards just kicked Sami Callahan in the nuts then, and he took a kindle stick and just hit him several times from the legs, from the arms, hitting several kill shots on him, and then even knocking Callahan, striking him in the head. Blood is just pouring like crazy out of Sami Callahan's face. Crazy it was out there. Even hitting one of the referees, telling him get out of the way. Then Tommy Dreamer tried to calm him down, but Eddie Edwards pushed him. It's like Eddie Edwards was a freaking madman. Eddie Edwards just turned a psycho out here because he wanted payback after getting hit in the eye with that baseball bat episodes ago on here. And Eddie was getting just striking Callahan, beating the death out of him pretty much. Like making like a sick son of a bitch he was trying to kill out there. His wife then tried to stop it, but Eddie went too far and pretty much knocked his wife down with the hit her with the Kindle stick, and then people chanting "wife beater" and people saying "you fucked up, you fucked up." Alicia was on the ground as Eddie tried to apologize, and the medical team helped tried to help her up. But yeah, you looked at Callahan, which is just dead. He looked dead. Sami Callihan looked freaking dead out there. Eddie Edwards just pretty much straight up murdered Sami Callihan and all of OVE, just hitting him with Kindle sticks trying to save him. He beat the living shit out of them and was just killing anybody in his way. It's like all Eddie Edwards saw was red, taking the blood off of Callahan's face, putting it on himself. I don't know if it was like a double turn for Eddie Edwards, if he's turning heel on that, but this match lived to the hype. It was a crazy brawl out there. I don't know if it's like a double turn or anything for Eddie Edwards now, but Eddie Edwards wanted revenge and everything, but the revenge got to his head, and he got his redemption tonight. No pun intended, but you know, he got his revenge, but it cost his wife also, taking her down too, accidentally, taking her out with the Kindle stick too. So this was one of my favorite matches of the night, and I recommend going back to look at this. I really did enjoy this match. This House of Hardcore thing was insanity. And it woke the crowd up. Okay, the crowd was going nuts. There was holy shit chants. ECW, Moose, Moose, Moose. I have not seen the Impact Zone that loud in a very long time now. Like, I don't even know the last recent time they were this loud, but they were very loud out here for this match. Next thing as we move on to the next match, it was Ali versus Su Yung for the Knockouts Championship. There was a video package after that, and as this was a good match. I will say that. I'm not saying it was bad, but it was kind of tough to cover after the old House of Hardcore match. Su Yung was really going in, as there was like her with this blood, because she's the undead bride out there, and Sutter was announcing for her. As both of them brawled each other, Su Yung had this glove covered in blood. It even took off her blood-covered dress then. This was a lot of it on there. As Sutter even tried to get involved, and she was going to hit the panic switch Michinoku Driver, but Ali was able to hit a roll-up and win. I don't think she was damaged through this, or even Taya from her losing to Rosemary. Maybe it'll be Ali versus Rosemary next for the title, but I don't know where Su Yung or Taya kind of go on from here right now. Since they get lost, I don't know what their next move is after that. But it didn't, the whole I don't know. Braxton started trying to propose, and people chanting no and bullshit. She pretty much was spitting Sutter's face with blood, the mist, and then using the mandible claw covered in blood on Sutter, then taking him out. It does. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt her because she's lost and she hasn't even been here that long. Maybe this could have ended in a DQ finish, but I think they want a straightforward win for this pay-per-view. I don't think Young is that damaged, or even Taya or anything, so they'll come back sooner or later throughout this. Like I said, Taya lost to Rosemary on the last episode of Impact, which I don't even know why they didn't save that Demon's Dance match for this pay-per-view. Even Johnny Impact versus Congo Kong they could have used tonight. They also played the new Slammiversary, where Slammiversary is going to be coming next, July 22nd in Toronto at the Rebel Complex. I don't know how big that arena is over there. It's supposed to be a very big venue, and it's a different approach. There's a good video package, I'll give it that, but I don't know what's next for that. Next thing you know, as they talked about all the new titles tonight, Austin Aries got a promo on him being this triple threat match, being worried of what was going to go down. But it's Aries. It was main event time. It was Austin Aries versus Pentagon Jr. versus Phoenix for the Impact World Championship. He brought out all the titles, even the Grand Championship, but I don't know if that title is going to count anymore. But he's just holding it around just because. This was a great match to watch. I enjoyed this match. Pentagon Jr., Sierra O'Malley, Phoenix was rolling like crazy out there, like that. I don't know what type of movie he was putting out at the beginning, but just coming out fast, hitting crazy cutters on everybody, rolling with a uppercut on Pentagon Jr. on the top rope, which was insane. Aries trying to hit a heat-seeking missile on Pentagon Jr., but Pentagon had caught him. but Aries able to dodge and throw him to the front row of the crowd. Then freaking Phoenix even hit a what was like a muscle buster into on Pentagon to a 2 count. Aries hitting a double, pretty much a double 450 splash on both guys, but even got the 2 after that. And as he hit pretty much running drop kicks, then Aries got super kicked by both of them several times in the face, but Pentagon hit Phoenix with a super kick. Then pretty much they are real brothers, but he wants that world title too, and he was gonna hit him with the gory bomb special, but he even picked up Aries hitting it was a package pile driving and a gory bomb, taking both guys out. And as he took Austin Aries' arm, just like he does in Lucha Underground, pretty much breaking it in half as he does in Lucha Underground, breaking people's arms. And after that, he pretty much hit the Pentagon driver on Austin Aries for the win. So a very surprising title change, folks. Very surprising. I don't think anybody saw this one coming. I expected Austin Aries to retain just because he's, collecting world titles and he's holding his title, but the fact that Pentagon Jr. has won and really has done nothing in this company. I know they have a partnership going on, but this was an interesting finish. I don't know what's going to happen next, and I think they ended this pay-per-view very on a shocking finish, kind of a high note. I know Austin Aries will get his rematch, and after that, Pentagon and Phoenix hugged each other in the ring after that. So it was very surprised. It was a clean win, and I will say, I know that we haven't seen a lot of pay-per-views out of Impact lately, but for this pay-per-view, it wasn't any type of screwy finish. And I would say like Slammiversary and Ray 2, but in this main event, it felt like a main event. You didn't see no type of screwy finish or ref bumps all over the place or some stupidness in the match. You saw 3 people tear the house down. This match was better than the one that was going to be with Alberto in the begin with, since Alberto had fucked the whole thing up. But with a 2-week build, this match delivered. This match delivered to be the main event of the show. I will say that. So I don't know what's going to happen next with Pentagon Jr. as the champion. And I know people say he doesn't speak any type of English. If I'm correct, all I know is Cero Medio and, Zero Fear. So that is just great as it is out there. But Austin Aries, I know he will get a rematch for the World Heavyweight title against Pentagon Jr. But I'm very surprised. We saw him win the Lucha Underground vs. Impact event. I just didn't think he was going to win it here. So it's a very interesting move. I will say that. It's a different approach. It's new. I want to see what happens next. I want to see how Austin Aries is going to get that title back, since he's like a belt, the whole belt collector, and he's still collecting belts all over the place. And come on, Austin Aries Austin Aries is not signed to any company really, so you don't know where he'll go. He's still going after the Ring of Honor television title right now. Hell, I don't know what's gonna happen. Pentagon Jr., we don't know when he'll defend that title again. Most likely he'll defend it at Slammiversary. Hell, we know Pentagon Jr. is all in. We could see him defend it in September, but I think that'd be a little bit too long to go against Austin Aries. So I'm sure Austin Aries will get his rematch soon for the World Heavyweight title. But like I said, it was a different approach tonight. It felt like a main event. No bullshit finishes. No referee bumps. No idiotic run-ins. This was a main event that went straight down the line. It went to the middle. It was a clean finish. It was enjoyable. Listen, I'll say, I know Impact has had a lot of hard times throughout throughout many months now, but tonight they've done a lot of things tonight. They listened to some fans. Listened to the fans. They've done stuff different, and they've been trying to improve the product of the show. Okay, they really have. So hopefully they will continue this momentum. I think Don Callis has done a very great job. I'm sure Scott D'Amore is helping too. I know they have their problems here and there, but I think they really did a good job tonight. And Don Callis is just making a lot of positive changes for the company. I know they've taken losses, and I know losing EC3 and Bobby Lashley was a major loss. I will say that it is, but they proved that they can put on a really good show. I think they're heading to the right direction. Hopefully they keep this direction going and putting on some very strong quality shows like this. So I don't know what's gonna be next, but like I said, this is a very great pay-per-view. They shook things up tonight. Pentagon Jr. is the champion. That's a shake-up right there. So it's a lot of improvements around the show tonight. So you got to give it that. But this is my redemption review. Please check out. I didn't really do any live reaction for that, but check out my review. Check out past Impact reviews. Also, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought about this show tonight. If you have not watched it, please give any type of chance. If you have it, if you want to watch the show, check it out. It was really good. Do I think there was some people missing off the show tonight? Yeah, I'm sure. I know who wasn't on here. Rosemary wasn't on here. Yeah, Rosemary was not on here tonight. I think she's hurt, if I'm correct. So I'm not really sure how that's gonna go. And I guess I should say for the tag team titles, I just want to put this little note in for the tag team. They need tag teams. Okay, one thing they need to improve on, they need tag teams. You can't rely. LAX is beating everybody. Okay, they just didn't beat Scott Steiner and Eli Drake tonight. And I don't even know if this title reign is gonna go long itself. Also, I just kind of have to point that out. I don't even know how long that reign will go, and they really need to start getting some tag teams around here. Because right now, you really just kind of rely on LAX, and that's the only feud they really have right now is against Eli Drake and Scott Steiner. So, I don't know how long Steiner will be in the company, or if he's here along for a while and that, but, you know, that's just my quick opinion on that. But like I said, comment, subscribe, tell me what you thought about Redemption, what was your favorite matches tonight. If I said that one of the top matches tonight were the House of Hardcore match and the Triple Threat match, the main event itself was very great. And I'll admit Steiner and Eli Drake winning the titles was very surprising too. So if you get a chance, check out Redemption tonight. But I am out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace out. And hey, enjoy the show. Peace. Cierro Medio.